Please join me in welcoming Mr. Shankar Mahadevan. Thank you. You did brave the Bay Area traffic and did get in here.
Yeah, it's fun. Nothing to beat the Mumbai traffic.
But Shankar, let me begin by welcoming you in my mother tongue, something which you will be very familiar. Vanakkam.
Vanakkam to all the people. Namaste, Sat Sri Akal. Good afternoon.
I should have guessed. You can speak in most languages from India.
More than speaking, actually singing is easier.
Easier. Yeah. Actually, that's a good beginning. You're a regular to the Bay Area, but this time you're here for a special cause. Tell us a little bit more about Aim for Seva and your purpose of this visit.
Well, normally when we come to the United States, we come and perform Bollywood music, which is the most, I think, popular form of music which is there. But this time it's really special when I met the people who are involved with Aim for Seva, and I met Srini and his entire team, and I went through Swami Dayananda Saraswati's preachings, his speeches, and I think the kind of work that they are doing is phenomenal. I think Srini will be explaining later about what exactly in detail, but it's the kind of work that they're doing is with children. They take children right from, a very, very low economic strata in life, and they take them all the way, give them education, give them residence, make their future actually. So, and I wanted to bring this show called Krishna Sabrang, which is music of our country, India, through our beloved Lord Krishna, because Krishna is omnipresent all over the country. And when he's omnipresent, there are so many cultures, so many languages, so many genres of music in India. So, I can feature all those in one show and having a common theme of Krishna. So somehow Aim for Seva and Krishna Sabrang, it was almost like doing musical Seva. And, coming to the US and singing popular music, film music is a no-brainer actually. I wanted the people over here to also listen to other forms of music which are there in our country, which is like classical music, tumris, bhajans, abhangs, and all kinds of stuff. So we put the show together, and I'm very excited that both my sons are there. They're singing with me, Siddharth and Shivam. And we have the wonderful Ankita Joshi, who is Pandit Jasraj ji's senior disciple. And it's a very interesting show, and I hope that people enjoy it. They've been enjoying our tour all this while, and I'm sure that they're going to enjoy it here too.
In fact, 3 lucky Googlers today are submitting raffles, so hopefully they will have a lucky entrance to the show later.
But what an honor coming here. I mean, Kiran,
an honor is ours.
Thank you, people. Thank you for getting us over here. It's really, it's like visiting a friend, Google, because I think sometimes 1 or 2 days you don't meet your family, but there's not a single day when you don't visit Google, isn't it? So it's like coming to your best friend's house and to a place where you come and you realize that this is the place that's changed the world. So thank you once again. Thank you.
I'd love to get a little bit more about, you and I spoke about just during lunch, about music being a passion versus a profession. Your introduction to music happened at a very young age. At the age of 5, you learned to play instruments. You've had a very strong grounding in classical music before you ventured out, explored many other areas. Tell us a bit more about why is music so important?
Oh my God. I think just to be able to appreciate music and enjoy music is, I think, one of the greatest blessings that you can have. And above that, if you are in a position to perform music and if you're in a position to entertain people through your medium, I think the whole idea of music is communication. It's a great form of communication, and I think uh, you can make people laugh, you can make them cry, you can make them feel inspired. You know, you can just make a person who's probably the biggest director in a company just get up on a seat and dance and just forget about himself and let go. And that is the power of music. And if you possess that power, I think God blesses you with that. Very few people get that blessing that, hey, you are born to entertain people, so you can communicate and give joy. I think joy is something that we take for granted, you know, that giving, if you're able to give joy to somebody, I think that is the greatest blessing that you have. And I think we musicians, every day, we thank God that, thank God I'm a musician and I'm able to give happiness to people, which is something which I believe in very strongly. I was an engineer. I am an engineer, you can say. I did my engineering from, a lot of my engineering classmates are here, this area. I mean, San Jose, Palo Alto, maybe even in Fremont. In fact, tomorrow I'm having a breakfast meeting with all my engineering buddies. And I did my engineering, though it was fantastic. And, you know, it prepared me to do a lot of stuff in life. Music was my passion. It was deep within me, and constantly I had this feeling that I'm here in this planet to communicate music to the people. It used to always come to me again and again and again. And of course, then you're moving at a great pace. You know, you're with your friends and you're doing your schooling, engineering. You know, you finish your course and looking for a campus interview. All that is happening. But at some stage, you have to, you know, stop back and kind of do a little bit of a internal thinking and say, hey, is this what you want to do, or you want to? There may be, like, you know, millions of other engineers who are 10,000 times better than you. Do you want to do something that you really want to do? And there were people around me. My wife Sangeeta is here. I was going around with her at that time in my college. And these are the people who really stood by me and said that. And she did a very important statement she made, which really changed things around. She said that maybe there may be a million engineers, but I feel that there'll be only one Shankar Mahadevan. She said that, and I don't know how much of that is true, but
You're definitely somebody whose voice is recognized not only in the hearts of people, but you not only popularized India, but you exist in our hearts. So the statement of happiness
God is more
definitely
than
there.
kind, yeah.
You know, a question actually coming in from a Googler and a YouTuber. We are in a generation where things go viral. We are all about trying to make things, you know, as popular as we are. Facebook is about trying to get as many thousand likes, million likes. Your music, Breathless, is one of the most viral videos on YouTube. Tell us a little bit about music going viral. Is there a science to making music going viral? How do you?
You know, if that would have been there was a formula. You know, we always think we should have a formula when we are creating the song. While creating, there should be a red light or a green light. So when you're creating, ting, the green light goes on. Oh, this song is going to be a hit. If that would have been possible, we would have been rich and famous. You know what I mean? There's no formula to that. You have to see, that is the risk that you take when you create path-breaking stuff. I mean, I'm just saying path-breaking because path-breaking meaning something that doesn't exist. You always want to go beyond barriers. You want to go beyond what you have done, a benchmark that you have created for yourself. So when you're trying to do that, that is as risky as anything, you know. Either you can be super successful or you can just fall flat on your face. So there is no formula to doing a viral video, because if you try to use a formula, which means a formula is something that already exists, and you will always be number two. You will be always compared to, now if I make another Breathless, they'll always compare that to, oh, at least 50% of the people over here will say, "Arey, this is not like that. Oh, the first one mein jo maza aaya tha na. This is okay, this is very good, huh? But that one." So you'll never reach that thing. So I think the only way you can do it is try to create something that doesn't exist. I'm talking musically, yeah? I don't know anything else. So musically, try to create stuff that doesn't exist. Try to break your own benchmark. Try to, create new forms, new sounds, something that even people may not digest in the beginning. When Breathless came out, so many videos were playing. There was the indie pop thing was in. The only thing I wanted was within the first 5 seconds, your reaction should be, what is this guy doing? That's all. If you caught that emotion, that's more than enough. Then at least you can capture the curiosity of people. And I think you have to do it passionately and do it full on. And maybe then your song, your video, your piece of music may get viral. But there's no formula to it. I don't think so. You all know better, yeah? What are you asking me?
We thought we might learn something from you. Actually asking you a question, you have been a part of one of the most successful musical trio that India has seen with Ehsaan-Loy. Tell us a little bit more about that, because it's an industry where styles of music can be so variable, egos are fragile. How did you form that partnership and what made it so successful?
This is actually a very interesting partnership, and we ourselves are very amazed at the way we have sustained, because we have completed 21 years of composing this year. And we started off 21 years back, and we three are completely different individuals, characteristics-wise and musical preferences-wise, temperament-wise, choices, whatever. The way we are three different individuals. We have nothing in common. But that is the beauty, When you look at a piece of music, it's like a melody is created, and you're looking at that melody from 3 different angles using 3 different cameras. So what I see, he doesn't see, and what he sees, he doesn't see. So, it's 3 angles to the same piece of music. And we interpret it our own way. And we don't use the conventional, tried and tested kind of stuff. So I think, I'll give you a small example. I'd like to bring Somil, my nephew, to... It's okay if I sing a few lines, huh?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
I think बहुत लोगों के मन में ये है कि मतलब very बंद करो यार गाना गाओ अभी एक दो. Can we have a little more of my... Where is this? It's all over, is it, the speakers? Can you turn me up slightly for the singing part?
If you step forward, you might hear yourself.
Oh, is it? Okay, then it's fine. Okay, I trust you.
Sorry.
So, we did this song for one of our first films, not the first film, called Dil Chahta Hai. Have you all seen Dil Chahta Hai? So, the creation of the music for this film was very interesting. We planned our 10-day schedule to Khandala, where Ritesh Sidhwani, the director, he had a bungalow there, and we wanted to stay 10 days and create music over there. So, Ehsaan-Loy, me, Javed Akhtar Saab, Farhan Akhtar, all of us, we drove to Khandala, and we finished the compositions with the lyrics in 3.5 days. The entire score was over, and we did not know what to do now in Khandala. We have another 6 days. We chilled out for a day, and then we just came back home. So music of Dil Chahta Hai was created in like about 3.5. I mean, of course, the composition, not the recording. So the first thing that came about was a bass line, which goes. So this was the bass line that came, and this was not supposed to be the situation for the Dil Chahta Hai title song at all. It was just a bass line that came, and we wanted to use this song for the Jaane Kyun Log Pyar Karte Hain. Jaane Kyun Log Pyar Karte Hain. This song. But then I was having a shower, and suddenly this bass line just play again. So these 4 notes, it just fits into the title of this film. So I just literally came out running and said, Dil chahta hai, tak chik dum dum, tak chik दिल चाहता है कभी ना बीते चमकीले दिन. So what triggers what is it's a crazy thing in music, you know. So this bass line said, oh my God, these 4 syllables come in as the title song of Dil Chahta Hai. So I just came and I said, can we fit in Dil Chahta Hai as the thing? And Javed ji readily agreed, and then of course he wrote the song around the thing. And we have many such instances. So this trio is very, very exciting because we respect each other as individuals, even after 21 years. No egos. I think the ego is the worst thing for a team to have. I think you all know better. For a team to coexist for a long, period of time, ego is something that you have to just leave in your house, because at the end of the day, you're playing with an abstract medium. My melody, your melody, his melody, everything is valid because we are all musicians. And what I say is also right, what you say is also right, what she says is also right. But I think eventually you have to come to a consensus based on what the melody is telling you. It gives out a feeling, It gives out a feeling in that room that, yes, this is the melody, and we have to go with it. And when you respect that, I think then everything falls in place, and, your music, I think you have to work for your music more than anything else.
Are there any more interesting stories which results in more music for us?
Oh, yeah. So many. I mean, we were in Pune. We had set up our instruments in this Taj hotel called Blue Diamond. We were working on the music for a film, and then Loy and the director of the film, and we were all sitting and having breakfast in one German bakery, early morning, 7 o'clock. And see how people ask, where do you get these melodies from? How does it happen? How do you get this? How do you get these tunes? Trust me, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you say that you are in control of your music, I think that is the biggest, false statement that you're making, because you really don't know where this music comes from. That is what they say. It is really divinity, So then suddenly this tune started ringing in Loy's mind, and we all ran to the sitting room where we had, set up our instruments and play, That's Somil Sringarpure. Let's hear it for him. How many of you know this song? So let's all sing together. Come on. हर घड़ी बदल रही है रूप जिंदगी, छाँव है कभी कभी है धूप जिंदगी, हर पल यहाँ जी भर जियो, है कमाल हल हो ना हो, चाहे जो तुम्हें पूरे दिल से मिलता है वो मुश्किल से, ऐसा जो कोई कहीं है, बस वही सब से हंसी है, उस हाथ को तुम थाम लो, वो मेहरबान कल हो ना हो. Everybody. हर घड़ी बदल रूप जिंदगी. Outstanding. हर पल यहाँ जी भर जियो, जो है समा कल हो ना हो. I must say, all of you were in superb in Surah. I'm not joking, really outstanding.
You know, we've seen a few talks at Google, but we have never seen where you could create a chorus out of a bunch of engineers.
You know what? I've realized one thing. Probably if you make people over here individually sing, they probably may go out of sur. They may wander into their own scale. But I've realized one thing. When people sing in a group, it just becomes into one sur. I don't know how that is. That is the magic of music, actually.
You know, Shankar, there's something called humility too. And I know you're downplaying this, but the fact that music just occurs to you, that when you sing, that people just seem to fall in place, there's something about
I was pointing the mic at them, so they were singing actually.
But that talks so much about you as a person too. I mean, we see you all the time. To the point that we were saying, we see personalities which are larger than life in movies. We see them on screen all the time. You've been a little known fact about you is you've been an actor too.
Oh, one film, yeah.
You have you host a music show today, which actually leads me to the next question. You explained so well that you followed your heart, and you had your wife with you to explain to you, saying that there could be 1 million engineers, but there could be one Shankar Mahadevan. But tell us a little bit about music as a passion and a profession. There are so many people today who are aspiring musicians, who come out there and who perhaps look at this as to how do I make it into a profession. What is your word of advice for them?
Firstly, I think there are two ways of doing it. I would say that what is it that you want to do? What is your ultimate aim? Do you want to just become a popular singer and become a YouTube sensation or something like that? Or do you want to study music? And as a result of which, your music can become popular. So what is it that you want to do? Both are valid, actually, because the path that I took was the difficult path, because I studied Indian classical music. My foundation, the grammar of the language of my music is classical music. Carnatic classical music is what I studied. And I used that as a medium, and all other forms of music that I do, whether I'm doing film music, whether I'm doing fusion music, whether I'm doing popular music, or Bhangra music, or, Tapangutu music in South Indian, they are all derivatives of classical music, is what I believe. But the other way is, you can become a one-hit wonder, or maybe a 2-3 hit wonder, and you still can make the same amount of money. You can still have the same amount of hits on YouTube or social media, still be flying first class, and traveling and doing your shows and all. But it's totally up to you. So if you want to approach the popular route, you still can do that. But one thing is, you will always be unsure of what you're doing. You will not be technically proficient as to what your song is all about. What is the scale that you've used? Is it a C major, E minor, D? I don't know. You'll say. What beat it is? What are the chords that are playing behind? Do you want to know that, or you don't want to know that? You still, end goal can be the same, but how you want to approach and what kind of a musician in depth, do you want depth in your music or no, is what you have to decide. And I think, personally, being a musician, for example, if you want to become a journalist, if your language is really good, you can write a beautiful article, And I believe in that. So if your grammar of the language of music is very strong, you are very confident, and you know what you're doing. You know your direction. You know 100%. Yes, I've gone a little flat. I've gone a little sharp. Otherwise, everybody feels that I am Kishore Kumar, But you don't realize. When you learn, you understand, oh, I'm going off. This chord is not working. This chord is working. This rhythm cycle I can do. It's interesting. So you become a student of music, and you remain a student of music for the rest of your life, which I feel I am. I am a student of music. which I'm going to remain till the end of my life. I'm learning all the time. I think उसमें ज़्यादा मजा है. That is a fun. It's like learning any art form, you know. And our classical music, Indian classical music, is so great. It's the greatest form of music in the world, I feel. If you learn that, you get certain musical powers, you know, musical powers which you can use to fly in any form of music that you want to do. So I feel that it's better you learn music properly, understand music, do a deep dive, yaar. Kuch kar hi raha hai to do a deep dive. No, why not? You know, learn properly and enjoy the whole process and be a student for the rest of your life, is my advice.
So Shankar, you sing in so many styles. You've learned music of from various parts of India. What is the kind of music that you love to listen to?
You know, if you see my phone or if you see the kind of music that I listen to, it's very varied. I tend to learn from every form of music, whether it is Carnatic classical music, whether it is Hindustani classical music, or whether it is Pink Floyd, or whether it is Ed Sheeran, or whoever. You know, I listen to every single form of music, and I think the best thing is to take the positive aspect of every form of music, and you can use, if you're a composer, you can use it to your advantage. You know, for example, Breathless that you've listened to, it's a classical rag. It's a rag Yaman, you know, and it's a form of improvisation that you do. Can you give me? So, if you take the rag Yaman, for example, in the South Indian style, Carnatic classical, and there's Hindustani classical. There are two forms of music, Carnatic and Hindustani. The notes are the same. It's the way you deliver it. It's the style in which you sing it. So if you're singing Carnatic classical, it is there are 7 notes in this rag. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. So if you sing it in the Carnatic style, this is the way you sing it. Ta da ra na no no na no na na no ra ra re 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 no na no re no. The same thing if you do it in Hindustani. The way you sing it, there's a little more tehrav, as in a little more sukoon, little more, what can I say, you dwell on the notes a little more. That's how Hindustani. Okay, so you see the style difference, and then there are, no, it's okay. There are these notes. So you can play with these notes, you know, where you can, if you're a classical musician, you can improvise and you can create various imageries using these notes. If you want to depict moving forward, you can say sa re ga ma pa. You want to go a little forward, sa re ga ma pa da ni. Come back, sa re da pa ma ga re sa. If you want to jump, sa sa, jump back, sa sa. Jump back and forth, sa ga re ma ga pa. So you can literally visualize music. If somebody tells you, okay, here is this playground, and go to the middle of the playground and you just go crazy, just run around with music, with these notes of Yaman. So this is how it'll be. Gare ga ma ba ma ga ma ba ga ba ma ga ma re ga re ma ga re zani re re ga ga re zani ga re re zani zani re re zani zani re ga ma da ba ma ga re ga ga re gare ga ma da ni zani da ba ma ni zani ma da ni da ba ma da ba ma ga ma ba da ga da ba ma ga ma ba ga ma ga re ga re zani da zani re re ga ga re re zani zani ga ma ba ga ma ga re gare ga ma ba ga ma ga re ga re zani ga re zani zani re zani 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 re ga re zani zani ga ma ba ga ma ga re ga re zani zani re ga ma da ni zani So while going through a process like this, I just give a meter to Javed Saab. Pada bama pada bama pada bama pada bama pada bama pada bama 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 gare gare bama bama. I just told him to write on this, and then he wrote. कोई जो मिला तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था जैसे मेरी सारी दुनिया में गीतों की रुत और रंगों की बरगाह खुशबू की आंधी महकी हुई सी अब सारी फिजाएं. And then it went on and on.
We can go on.
महकी हुई सी अब सारी फिजाएं खोई हुई सी अब सारी अदाएं खोई हुई सी अब सारी दिशाएं बदली हुई सी अब सारी अदाएं जारी उमंगे धड़क रहा है दिल सांसों में तूफान होठों में दिल में आंखों में सपने सपनों में बिखरे हुए सारे वो लम्हे जब कोई आया था नजरों पे छाया था दिल में समाया कैसे मैं बताऊं तुम्हें कैसे उसे पाया था प्यारे से चेहरे बिखरी जो जुल्फे तो ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे कोहरे के बीच एक रोज में धुला हुआ फूल खिला है जैसे बादल में एक चांद छुपा है और झांक रहा है जैसे रात के पर्दे में सवेरा है रोशन रोशन आंखों में सपनों का सागर जिसमें प्रेम सितारों की चादर जैसे झलक रही है लहरों लहरों बात करे तो जैसे मोती बरसे जैसे कहीं चांद की पायल गूंजे जैसे कहीं शीशे के जाम गिरे और झल से टूटे जैसे कोई चुपके से तार बजाए जैसे कोई चांदनी रात में गाए जैसे कोई हॉल से पास बुलाए कैसे मीठी बातें थी वो कैसे मुलाकातें थी वो जब मैंने जाना था नजरों से कैसे बिगड़ते हैं दिल और आरज़ू पाती है कैसे मंजिल और कैसे उतरता है चांद जमीन पर कैसे कभी लगता है स्वर्ग अगर है तो बस है यहीं पर उसने बताया मुझे और समझाए मुझे हम जो मिले हैं हमें ऐसे ही मिलना था कुछ जो खिले हैं उन्हें ऐसे ही खिलना था जन्म के बंधन जन्म के रिश्ते हैं जब भी हम जन्मे तो हम यूं मिलते कानों में मेरे जैसे शहद से घुलने लगे ख्वाब के दर्जे आंखों में घुलने लगे ख्वाब के दुनिया भी कितनी हंसी और कितनी रंगी थी ख्वाब की दुनिया जो कहने को थी पर कहीं भी नहीं थी ख्वाब जो टूटे मेरे आंख जो खुली मेरी होश जो है मुझे मैंने देखा मैंने जाना मुझे कभी आया नजरों पे छाया था दिल में समाया जा भी चुका है और दिल मेरा है अब तन्हा तन्हा ना तो कोई अरमान ना कोई तमन्ना और ना कोई सपना मुझे मेरी दिन और आज मेरी रातें मैं दिल आंसू और मैं दिल प्रतिनिधि की रंज की बातें और फरियाद मेरा अब कोई नहीं मैं और खोए हुए प्यार की यादें मैं और खोए हुए प्यार की यादें मैं और खोए हुए प्यार की यादें.
Thank you.
Thank you. See, in Hindi there is a saying, I don't know whether you know this saying, it's called अपने पैरों पे कुल्हाड़ी मार के लेना. This is a song which is अपने पैरों पे. I have Marofied the kulladi many years back. So nobody feels satisfied till I sing this song. So that's why I sang it.
Before I stand between you and the music, I have a couple of more questions regarding causes that you're that you care for, you're proud for. The last time you visited Google, you spoke about the Shankar Mahadevan Academy. Love to hear about where is it, what are your aims, what are your dreams with it?
See, I feel very insignificant while I address an audience that is working in Google, my God, because...
it's like us singing before you.
You said it. Yeah. But the whole idea was to give back what I have learned over the years. And I really, as I was telling you earlier, imparting people with the power of music is great. Not everybody need not become the greatest singers in this planet, but I think just being able to learn music, just being able to enjoy music is a great, great feeling. Initially, I thought that just like how other great maestros have done, take a piece of land and construct an academy which can teach Indian classical music. But then that little bit of engineering thing that was there in me and my partner who used to stay right here in Palo Alto, Sridhar Ranganathan, both of us, we put this academy together. It's called the Shankar-Mahadevan.academy.com. It's an online academy. We started off with about 15 students because I did not see any other academy of this nature, what we had in mind. So there was no reference point, you know. So we all did it trial and error, trial and error. We formed the curriculum, created online music books called Om Books. We call them Om Books. So you can study from those Om Books. Plus, there are online classes. Everything that an academy gives you, a physical brick and mortar academy gives you, we gave it online except for the building, you know. And after 6 years, we are teaching in 72 countries right now, teaching Indian classical music. And I hope that Google hears this and also tries to help us out so that it becomes bigger and bigger. So,
absolutely.
I think Google search, you go and search, learn music online, Shankar Mahadevan Academy, #1. Yeah.
You figured out SEO all by yourself.
No, it's my partner Sridhar Ranganathan. He's also a technical kind of wizard kind of a guy, and see, we as artists, we dream a lot, you know. We want to do this, we want to create this, but if there are people with you who take it to the next level and implement it and make it happen, that's when it becomes a success story. So Sridhar is the one who's really made it a success story for me. And it's so lovely that when I go and meet every city I go, every country I go, students are like, for tomorrow's concert, I think a whole lot of my academy students are also going to come along with the Aim for Seva children, and they're going to sing Tare Zameen Par with me. So it's such a lovely feeling, you know. It's great. Yeah.
Actually, it's perfect time to actually bring Aim for Seva back in here. We would love to hear more about the program. Can I have the...
My name is Srini Raman. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Aim for Seva, but basically, I'm also a mechanical engineer. From Detroit, helping the automotive industry, but the automotive industry now shifting to the West Coast, and Google is going to play a major role. But I had a calling 2 years ago when Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati, our founder of Aim for Seva, gently touched my shoulder and said, I need you. To do what? To lead Aim for Seva USA. And my answer was very spontaneous. And I said, there are a million engineers, but there can be somebody who can play the role of a small squirrel, like how that helped Sri Rama build the bridge, and the bridge of connecting the people who don't have and the people who have. So I told myself, if I can play that role, and this is what I feel satisfied at the end of the day, just like how Shankar said, and he had the calling to dedicate himself for the music. I'm standing in front of you, dedicating my whatever little skill that I have in bringing these people together. Because Aim for Seva is a people's movement. It is like Sri Gandhiji's freedom movement. Swami Dayananda Saraswati had a vision of Seva movement. What does it mean? Each one of us, in whatever way we can, should care for the people who don't have. So having said that, Aim for Seva started when a tribal woman by name Papamal met Swamiji in 2000. And she said her children dropped out of the school. Reason being, far away. The home is far away from school, and dysfunctional home, and poverty. So she gave an idea, why don't you start a Chatralaya, a hostel, where her children can stay very close to an existing government school. And they stay until they finish high school. Swamiji thought this is a very pragmatic solution for a very practical problem that this woman has. And that's how Aim for Seva was founded in the year 2000. And thanks to Papa Mal, we have now over 100 hostels across 16 states of India. So that is a big, it's a small beginning, we call it. There are 600 districts in India, so we need to build that. There are 14,000 children that they have graduated to high school. And our success rate is 90%. So the children stay with us, and they stay for about 7 to 10 years, and we take care of them like our own children. We give a house, we give food, we give school supplies, we teach them values, and we make sure that they graduate from high school, and if they're doing well in high school, we take them to college. And guess what? 2 students from a tiny village in Madhya Pradesh finished college, and they got job offer at Tata Consultancy Services, India. This is all happening in the 15 years. We believe that every child deserves education. And let's hear from one of the child, her life story.
मेरा नाम उदारुण है। मैं 9th क्लास में पढ़ती हूँ और मैं त्रिपुरा मिज़ोरम से आई हूँ। हम रेफ्यूजी हैं, इसलिए हमारे पास ज़मीन नहीं है। हमारे ब्रू जाति पर्वतों में रहते हैं। हमारे यहाँ बारिश होने से रास्ते तो जाते हैं, बिखर कर नष्ट हो जाते हैं, इसलिए हमको आने जाने में बहुत तकलीफ़ होती है। हमारे यहाँ करेंट का भी सुविधा नहीं है। मेरे मम्मी पापा मजदूरी करते हैं जंगल में जाकर। पापा बीमार है तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते। दीदी और भैया इस दुनिया में नहीं रहे। और हमारे जाति में बहुत गरीबी स्थिति है, क्योंकि पैसा कमाने के लिए हमारे पास कुछ नहीं है। हमारे आसपास कुछ कॉलेज, स्कूल और हॉस्पिटल कुछ भी नहीं है, इसलिए हमको हॉस्पिटल जाने के लिए भी बहुत दूर जाना पड़ता है। पानी भरने के लिए बहुत पर्वत से नीचे जाना पड़ता है। सब्जी ढूंढने के लिए पर्वतों में चढ़ना पड़ता है। मुझे कुछ नशा, गन पीने और पकड़ने का नहीं हुआ, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसे समय में एक अच्छा रास्ता मिल गया था और मैं अभी पार कर रही हूँ। मुझे एम फॉर सेवा के बारे में देश भैया और बीरबाहू भैया के माध्यम से पता चला। उन्होंने मम्मी पापा को फ़ोन किया कि वहाँ पे कुछ बच्चे को ले रही है गर्ल हॉस्टल है खट्टे गांव में, तो हमारे बहनों को भी वहाँ पे पढ़ाई करने के लिए भेजो। यहाँ पे 4 साल हो गए एम फॉर सेवा में, और यहाँ के वातावरण ये सिटी से दूर है, लेकिन ये बहुत अच्छा है। दीदी, स्वामी जी, हमारे साथी दीदी, ये सब मतलब दूसरे जाति, दूसरी भाषा और कोई धर्म भी अलग है, फिर भी यहाँ पे हम बहुत अच्छे से रहते हैं मिलजुल कर। मुझे मम्मी पापा की यहाँ पे बहुत याद आती है। जब हम यहाँ से गर्मी छुट्टी बनाने के लिए घर गए थे, मेरे सहेलियों को देखा मैंने, मेरे मन ऐसे हुए अगर मेरी सहेली ये सब मेरे जैसे पढ़ते तो अच्छे रहते, मेरे साथ वहाँ पे जाते। हमारे गांव में अच्छा हॉस्पिटल नहीं है और कोई अच्छा डॉक्टर नहीं है, और मैं बड़ी होकर डॉक्टर बनना चाहती हूँ, क्योंकि मेरे भाई 1.5 साल बीमार हुई थी, उसके बाद मर गए थे। उस बीमारी को कोई नहीं पहचान पाई। फिर मैंने सोचा यहाँ पे आकर कि मुझे डॉक्टर बनना है, उस बीमारी को पहचानना है कि वो बीमारी क्या था।
Shankar, if I may have you back on stage, I would like to conclude my part and get out of the way between Shankar and the magic. If, we always say that it's magical to witness genius when it's combined with passion and humility. I think we got to see that over the last 1 hour.
Okay, I can just ask them a few requests and I can sing for a few lines of the songs that they want to hear. Simple. Katyar Kalsat Kusli. Manamandira, he is here. Shivam is here only.
Actually,
come,
we
we'll
have
sing, come.
Shivam and Siddharth also. So if I may invite them on, please.
Acha. So Maharashtrians, South Indians. Okay, three lines of everything, okay? तळहाताच्या रेषानी सहज सुखा का भोगी कुण
तळहाताच्या रेषानी सहज सुखा का भोगी कुणी
स्वयं प्रकाशी तू तारा चैतन्याचा गाभारा भरा पंखातून स्वप्न उद्याचे झेप घे रे पाखरा उजळून घेईसा दगा मन मंदिरा. Give me F. பராக நதிக்கரை ஓரம் ஒரே ஒரு பார்வை பார்த்தேன் புறாவே நில்லுன்னு சொன்னேன் கண்ணாவ ஓடி மறைஞ்ச கண்ணில் வரும் காட்சி எல்லாம் கண்மணிய உருத்தும் காணாதவும் உருவம் கண்ணுக்குள்ளே நிற்கும் கண்ணு தக்கு தக்கு தக்குங்குது ஓ உள்ள திக்கு திக்கு திக்குங்குது நெஞ்சு ஜல்லு ஜல்லு ஜல்லுங்குது சொல்லு 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 சொல்லுங்குது பராகம் நதிக்கரை ஓரம் ஒரே ஒரு பார்வை பார்த்தேன் புறாவை நில்லுன்னு சொன்னேன். Thank you.